We are here at Peters Hall on the East Bank talking with a particular resident concerning a land issue. The new Harbor Bridge is coming here. The government has acquired her land and she's not having it. We're here this morning with Vashti Fredericks, and there's been a long-running issue or long-running issues in Peters Hall here where you live, Miss Fredericks. Bring us up to date with those issues, and then we'll speak specifically to the new bridge that's coming here and that specific issue and the housing dilemma.
Well, good morning, viewers. This is a very quiet area. I must almost say that I grew up here from the age of 5, and look at my age now, so you can tell the amount of years that I've been living here. You can say I almost born here, because from 5. Anyhow, it's a nice community. It's a mixed community. We live very good and happy in this area. But the government now is doing development. Nobody's stopping development. And I, for one, I like development because I do a lot of community work without nobody knowing, right, to get things done. Even to the public road out there, there's a crossing. I'm the person who went to the ministry and get that crossing out on the public road. Because when they had done that road, I wasn't in this country, and they put the media across, we had no way to cross. We had to jump over between two bridges, two media, and a lot of people fall down, get cuts and buses on their face. And so I decided one morning, I went to the ministry, and a very nice engineer, Mr. I can't remember his name anyhow, he said that he's going to look into it, and we have that crossing out there, because a lot of people don't know how that crossing is there. But concerning this bridge here, because there must be development.
Well, just before we get to the bridge, yeah, you know, there's been a lot of issues here in the community over time. There's been a flooding,
yes,
you had coca issues. I've been, yes, here when you all were, yes, terribly flooded out.
That's
Talk
right.
to us about that, yes, and any assistance you may have gotten from the government.
Yes. We had several times we had breakage at the coca here. We never had no assistance. The assistance that we get is just little bleach and little soap powder. When you check the things that they gave you to do little cleaning, it wasn't enough. Some of the things they expire, that some people didn't even use it, right? But no officials never come in here to see the things that we lost. We had stocks, we had furnishing, everything was being thrown away. Personally, the last flooding that we had, I kind of think was last year, personally, myself and 2 other residents, we went to the Ministry of NDIA. I prepared 3 letters, one for the President, one for Mr. Edgell, and one for NDIA. I took them in, myself and 2 residents, we took it in ourselves. We had the officers in there sign collecting those letters. I went back informing them our situation here. We have sick people in the area. We have people, a woman there, she has stroke. I even mentioned that in the letter. Herself and husband, washing machine, damage, washing with her hand, with one hand. Nobody came in. Nobody saying to anything concerning that. You know, so we are always being neglected in this area. And I mentioned it already on national television, that the woman, but you don't hear these things when the government media come in here. They don't establish it. They don't put it out. The woman with the Palauri up the East Coast, she get money for Palauri, and we get nothing here. Nothing, nothing. I lost my washing machine and a lot of clothing that I had to throw away. Right? People lost fridge and all kind of things, damage the furniture, they throw away bed and all those kind of things. Because you know some of the materials that these people making, these things with this compressed thing and so many water get it. Right now I don't know what's going to happen to us, because doing the bridge, they close up all the trenches. We don't have trenches here.
And the rainy season is
And the rainy season is on. We don't have trenches. They close up all the trenches. This government is so sensitive. Right? The pump of the coca has been removed. Several times you're always underwater. You have children who suffer. And when you hear it, you hear that it's political and somebody behind it is political and only for your own benefit. Because now, the citizens are paying the government to look after our interests, but they're not looking after our interests. That is what they're being paid for, right? And so we suffer, because I always say it as a callous government, and I keep saying it again. There's a callous government. And the 3 P's that they have, PPP, they don't have a policy, they don't have principle, and they don't have politeness. Those 3 Ps.
And we saw some of that demonstrated on this removal from your house here in Petersall. It's not just you, a number of residents, because this is an area that has been earmarked for the new bridge.
Yes.
Before we come to what transpired yesterday,
yes.
when were residents alerted, whether by the media or otherwise, that the bridge was coming here, and what has been the engagement of the government since that time?
And before I go there, I want to insert this piece.
Go right ahead.
At time when the last time when the cocoa was broken, Harry Gill, he assaulted me because I went up there and I was speaking and he grabbed my hand and he assaulted me to go home, get home, and he assaulted me. This is
the advisor to the Ministry of Home Affairs, Harry Gill?
Yes, he assaulted me. Harry Gill, he assaulted me.
What role was he playing there?
I don't know. He was up there because I was talking about our concern, because it will happen with a lot of people. They're afraid of this government to speak out. Many times when things to be done in this area, and you say you're bringing the media, the people, the residents will tell you plain, I would be victimized, I'm not coming out. That is what happened, right? And so we had, after this bridge was, we had the bridge crossing here was damaged through the flood. A school child fell into that bridge. And so we had a protest right at the corner there. Mr. Edgell passed that morning and we had a media there. Mr. Edgell passed that morning and we had placard. Citizens were out there. You didn't stop. You haven't stopped to hear the concern of these residents. They're out here, a group of people. What happened? No, he wind up his window and he went his way. Didn't stop. The president, Mr. Ali, was up there on the coca. Some residents, we went up, about 4 or 5 of us, we went up there to see him about our concern. They had guns on me because I was in the way to stop him because I want his attention.
What was he doing at the coca at that point?
He went up to look after the bridge project, and he was up there. Normally they would come in by night, sometimes they come in easy by night, you just see them shifting in and out. And he was up there that day. And few residents, we went up there to voice our concern. And they had me like prisoner of war. If so, the police, they had me on the road tugging me to move me out of the way. Ali get in his vehicle and pass us straight. Is that a caring government? Caring and very loving and concerned government. That is what they did. They had me like prisoner of war. That is what they did. You understand? And because people are always very quiet, they're not saying anything because they're afraid of victimization, because people know this government like to silence you in so many ways. The next morning you wake up dead. I will say it over and over. Now concerning this bridge. They came probably in the air, we were hearing they're making this new harbor bridge. This new harbor bridge was in the air. But then we noticed some work start on the sea dam. I'm living just behind the sea dam, in front of the sea dam. And we noticed some work start. But then we get to hear it's concerning the bridge. Nobody came to us and tell us anything and inform us. Then they came 3 months after. This bridge started in 2022, I think. I think around in September month. They came around in October month to tell us we got to remove, and they given us October, November, December, 3 months to remove, and that they were going to pay our house rent. They're going to pay our house rent and put us in, but we have to move. We had no consultation. Mr. Edgell said we had consultation. We had engagement, none at all. Nobody came to the resident and gave us a feedback, inform us, and I tell them, because housing were the one who was engaging us in this project, and we had meetings upon meetings at Princess Hotel and thing. But then afterwards, suddenly some Mr. Anil Nandalal, he took over. He even abused me.
This is the Attorney General.
The Attorney General, I don't know how he come in. He took over from housing suddenly like that. Because housing is not doing the right thing, so he come to do the right thing, to rob us. And let me tell you, every time a different official come around here, they come in with a different story. They wasn't consistent with what they're telling you. When they come, they say they're dealing with the owners of the house. If you have tenants, the tenants would go in and they would get land. Then suddenly, sir, they said, no, they're not concerned with tenant. They're on their own. Well, I tell them I have adjacent families, and so I have to look in for them, right? But on and on every time. One morning early like this, some officials came and bullied me because I didn't give them my ID card to spell my name right. I spelled my name. And they bullied me to give me, and he make me to know I don't want to give my ID card if I think I could stop housing. I said, this is bullyism. This is terrorism. And so he walk out and say, I'm spelling my name and tell you my right name.
He wants your ID card.
But he want my ID card. I said, that's my personal belongings. I can't give it to you. You understand? But these people has a bullyism way. Bullyism with a lot of propaganda going on. And so, from then to then, they've been giving letters. And if I tell you, the first document we received from the government, the residents took a lawyer and wrote them a letter concerning what they're doing to us here.
This is on the housing issue?
Yeah, the housing issue.
And did they respond?
Yes, by having a meeting, because the residents demand we must have a meeting. But I did not go to that meeting because it was my Sabbath afternoon. I was preparing my Sabbath. And they had that meeting at the NDC out there. And I think Minister Kroll was there, and I don't know who else was there as I heard. And that is the first time those people met with the residents. Mm-hmm. That's the very first time. We have all those things documented. And from what I gathered, the meeting wasn't fruitful because every time these officials come, everybody comes with a different story. Now they said that we would be having money along with the land would be a gift, a deed of gift. When Mr. Anil came around, that's what housing said. When Anil came around, he said we have to pay $3 million for the land.
Story's changing.
Story's changing. That's what I said. Every time they come around, they're not consistent. They're inconsistent. That's what I say, that this government, this PPP government, the 3 Ps, they don't have a policy, they don't have principles, and they're not polite. Because they're bullyism and terrorism. Because they went out there and threatened a resident. If you don't move out within certain time, don't let it happen to you like what happened to Boko people. That is bullyism.
You know
what they doing, and the senior citizens they're dealing with.
Wow. Wow.
I think since this project started, you can't sleep here in the night, Mr. Duncan. Mm-hmm. You're being terrorized by nice whole night. The Chinese doesn't concern. Well, if your own Guyanese people, government do you these kind of things, what do you think the Chinese going to do with?
This is the construction now that's happening at the back.
Yes.
Pertaining to the bridge.
You're not sleeping. Nice whole night. The trucks are passing in here all night, whole day. You're in your house, your bed shaking, all your things falling off the wall, you're cooking, your pot shaking from the stove. Sometimes I start off because I frightened that the stove blow up. You're there on the bed, you're rocking. Dust, nice, non-stop. If you see dust in your house, dust non-stop. You believe you're living in a sand pit or something. The Chinese doesn't care. You don't have no proper walkway neither out there. This is an old area. This piece is all here. It's an old area, it's an old scheme. This is not a new developed scheme.
You've lived here for a long time.
Right? And if I tell you I'm here from the age of 5, and look at me now, right?
Your life is here, your roots are here.
My roots are here. Now they take us to lawyers. They assign us to different lawyers. Now the lawyer told me, when I asked about my fruit trees, my sentimental values, and whatever.
So this is the government assigned you to
yes, the government, yes, since Anil take over. Each resident were assigned to different lawyers. He told me that they're not concerned about compensating you for your trees and sentimental values and those kind of things. We would be giving back trees. I would be giving back trees to plant. I watch in the face and I take off my hat. I say, watch my face and watch me here. When I planted back trees to grow, when? To have my fruits, I said, you have to give me fruit trees with fruits on them. And so there's no compensation for the trees, that I'll be having fruit trees. I said, well, then I have to have fruit trees with fruits on them. Because look at me. I took off my hat, I said, look at my face and watch at my hair. Right? So when they're going back to I reap, they're very, very unfair and callous, man. It's a callous government that doesn't care about people. And people are afraid of them because of their behavior. And so, Tuesday, the meeting was supposed to be yesterday morning, no? So Tuesday afternoon, I just came from the hospital. After 6 o'clock, I got a call. I'm calling from Mr. Edgel's office. Who is calling? My name is something Khan, Ramsara Khan, something can. But he's calling from Mr. Edgel's office informing me there's a meeting tomorrow morning, which is Wednesday morning, he tell me 7 o'clock at the bridge. I said, concerning what? He said he don't know. I said, so how are you calling me? You're not with them? He said, no. I said, you're not a part of Mr. Edgel? He said, no, they just asked him to call. I said, so why you call if you're not part of them? It's concerning what? Then he said, it's concerning the bridge. I said, 7 o'clock. I said, sir, he said, you don't want to hear anything because, he said, he don't want to hear anything because he doesn't know anything. I said, well, what part you playing in this bridge project? Make you hear? He said, make you call in? He said, he's an engineer. I said, what's your portfolio? He said, I'm an engineer. So I said, you're an engineer? I said, well, anyhow, you're part of the public service, right? And so you're concerned. Anyhow, I slept. I didn't go to no meeting. I planned that I would not go to no meeting. And so Mr. Edgel called me out of my bed early in the morning. I had to tell him I have a terminal ill brother. And I need my rest. And you call me so early. You say I'm a senior citizen to wake me up out of my bed to tell me about meeting. But I forget was to ask you why y'all calling people after hours to invite them to meeting if me and you got any personal relationship, if it's a date. If God forbid it's a date, make you calling me after hours at me house nighttime. That's to tell you they're insensitive. Stupid set of people. Anyhow, by the time he called me in the morning, he was here at my gap. I opened my gate, I went down, I opened my gate to him. He said, good morning, Mom. In fact, when he called, I said, who is speaking? It's Mr. Edgel. I said, what you calling for? Oh, Mom, you're not coming to the meeting? I said, no, I don't think I can make it. Okay, Mom, I'll be at your house. I didn't answer him, and he was here at my gate. So I went downstairs to him, and when he came, he said, oh, he's Mr. Edgel, good morning, and came to give me this letter of so. And then I relate, I think that is on the meeting now, what I relate to him. But during the process after what I relate to him, because look at the house over there. All of us, because they say we could go and have our own private valuation. Those Indian people over there, we took them to the valuation officer that we went to. And those people paid those people, this is abandoned house, on those valuation, and they said they cannot pay us on the private valuation, but pay those people. But the thing is God is a good God. I always say God won't confuse them. Something came out from them. That a letter came out that they did those people proposal. And I went to Mr. Aaron, come Mr. Aaron, say, you don't see me. And I sat down in my house and I saw Mr. Aaron come privately and sitting down and the people bottom house. I said, if I had a gun, I could have shoot you. I told him that. So I said, I come.
Who is Mr. Aaron?
Mr. Aaron is at the house in his chief something at the house in. I said, I could have shoot you and I got you on my phone. You were sitting there. He said, well, you know, my job, I could go anywhere and sit anywhere. I said, okay. I said, but two things I come for you to see me, because the document has his name on it, the proposal that they pay one of the residents. So I said, I come for you to make a proposal for me. He said, oh, no, that would be conflict of interest. That's the right word? Right. He said, no, I can't do that. He said, oh, Mr. Bash proposal. I didn't call name to him. Oh, Mr. Bash proposal, because the man name is Bash that we got the document for. Oh, Mr. Bash proposal, I can't remember the exact word, but if I can quote, is that like he was ordered to prepare it. So I said, I come for you to do mine. I went to the lawyer that they assigned me to, Mr. Murujna, at Anil Nandalal's office. And I went there to them. I saw the young lady,
This is the Attorney General's office?
Office, yes. I went there to the young lady. Her name, because Mr. Murush wasn't there and the two of them work in partnership probably there. Her name is Rampasad or something. And so I outlined what is what. She said, no, they weren't able to do that. Probably I can go and get a private proposal due and that kind of thing, and we can bring it into them. But every time I go to the lawyer that they send me to, they're stepping up the money. Every time I go, they're stepping it up. They're stepping up. He putting on a little piece more. I don't know which authority getting from.
Which means they're valuing your property higher?
Yes, a little piece, a little piece, a little piece. a little piece, right? And so he told me, because Mr. Aaron took me and showed me to a land in Prospect with 3 bedrooms, a flat house. I can't even turn on the land. I said, Mr. Aaron, I can't turn on this land. I said, look at my land. I said, I almost have a double lot where I'm living. I said, I can't turn on here, and I have adjacent families. I have to cater for them, right? I would like to see. I said, this is optional. I would like to see other places. He said, okay. I see some other places. I said, can I view them? He said, no, those are private places. I don't know. Private places.
So you can only see them from the outside.
Could only see them from the outside because it's private people places, right? I said, this government, and God in control.
So, what was the arrangement that you'd be paid for the property and then you'd have to take some of that money to buy a new property?
That's right, to buy a new property. When you get that money, and the thing is that we have to move out, and when we that is in the letter, and when we finish, because they came and gave us a letter from that result from that meeting that they had at the NDC, so that when we move out, they would be paying us 6 months out rent for us until negotiation finish. So you don't get nothing in your hand, nothing.
And what were some of the price ranges for those houses they were quoting in terms of buying?
11, 9, but see the turnkey house was like foul pen, 6 something. 11 was the 13, 22, and those
this
kinds of
$1 million?
Yes, So they're taking out from that. And then the landlord said you have to pay $3 million for the land. Well, then everybody kick against it because that wasn't the saying and that the land is free. He said, okay, when you come back another time, he said, okay, no, you don't have to think for it. But I stand up to view my concern, and the landlord said, meeting finished. So I stand up, we were at the Princess Hotel. So I stand up and I look straight to him in his eyes. And I said, you are not acknowledging me? You are not acknowledging me? You ain't seeing me? Meeting is closed. Yes, ma'am, what you want? That is how the Attorney General addressed me, a concerned citizen. I said, I'm here. I said, I am here to do my concern. That's what y'all call me for. And that's how you're addressing me? I said, that's how you're addressing me? Like you come to abuse me? I said, abuse you? I said, this is my concern. I don't tell them about no money. I just talk about principles and policies that they're going on with. I said, the president, he built a fence, if my memorial can recall. The president, he built a fence or a swimming pool for $50 million. A minister went outside to do shatik for much millions of dollars. I could not remember her name, or else I would have called it. And they all just sat back and they listened to me attentively. And when I finished speaking, they all get up, meeting is over. Another second time again, they were there, and I addressed them again the same way. Y'all are inconsistent, y'all not professional. These people never bring no document here to us to say, well, listen, a project development, because of the project, at least we give y'all a year or 2 years. I told them that, at least 2 years to get yourselves together, because we would want to acquire these areas to do this project. We have no document like that. None whatsoever. No negotiation. Nobody never come and tell you that. When they did come to you to tell you to move out because the bridge coming here. They started around, but in September started doing things and coming October and tell we got to move out in December. That is in 2022. I have files about them. When I told Mr. Edgel there yesterday when he come to me, and I told him concerning the flood, I said I wrote 3 letters. 1 to the president, 1 to you, and 1 to NDIA. Well, before I said NDIA, he said, I don't know, I didn't sign for no letter. I said, I have your signature, whoever. I went to the office and they signed for the letters. I said, probably, well, then they throw it in the dustbin. I told him that. And he gave me the letter. He said, listen, I have this document here for you. You're going to receive it. And then I said, listen, I'm taking it unknown to my lawyer. And I took it. And then he walked out because he wasn't here. Because I said, y'all bullying people? Who bullying y'all? No, tell me. I said, terrorism going on here. He said, no, who's bullying you? And he walked away. I said, because I'm not signing it.
So, and the whole country, if not the world, saw that. The minister said that these properties have now been acquired.
Yes.
what happens next as far as you
I don't know. So I said these property being acquired illegally, not legal, because we are not aware of it. We're not aware of it. So it's illegally they acquire these things behind our back. Why this government behaving like that? But God watching them all the time. He's watching them. And I tell people, I leave everything in the maker's hand. Because look, somebody from housing bring out, make we get to know about that proposal for that old house that they pay $50-something million for. A valuation officer come here to do some revalue, and she said it. She said, look at them old houses, them they will give all them money to. She said the one they got 10 test wall inside. That I live here so long, even know the lady house got 10 tests. Because they went and they do valuation. Right? It's not unfair, it's unfair. She said, look at your lot. She said, you almost have a double lot here.
So what happens to you now? The property, as the minister said, has been acquired by the government. What happens to you? What happens next to you?
Well, when I came back, I took the letter from my brother, because my brother said, let me see what is in it. And then when I took the letter, I didn't even watch properly to see. All I know, my name spelled wrong, so that is not my name. So I went after him. I went behind that to show you how they're so professional. I went behind him and I called him. I addressed him properly. I said, Mr. Edgil, this letter does not belong to me because it does not reflect my name. I said, y'all got to accept it back. He look at it and he walk away. That's a man in government. And I fling it down on the other Indian guy that was with him too. He look at it. I said, that's not my name. And I fling it down on the ground. I throw it down on the ground because I say it does not belong to me. It doesn't reflect my name. And they all walk away. That's to show you what a caring and a loving government they are. That is, you know, if you go to the bank with one letter on your name, you don't get business. If it's missing or your name misspelled, they don't do no business with you. Money come for me from America. One letter spelled wrong. And the money went back. So why I must receive that? That name is totally wrong. That's not my name. Why must I receive somebody else's document? Probably they could be living here because the address is right, but the name is wrong. Right? The name is wrong.
Are you going to be moving? You intend to move?
Well, I don't want to move. Let me tell you something. I told in my golden age at all those meetings. My golden age now to relax. Right? With your little sentimental value at our age, that is where they come here and they got other places where they don't have to disturb residents. But it's Mr. Granger started this bridge project because they're in their 20-something years and they know that we want a new harbor bridge. Mr. Granger started this thing. This all was tested in somewhere in Houston or Magdum or somewhere. But this government is so wicked. They always doing things to please themselves, to get a name. They're a name. They don't look after the residents. Right? So they always want a name that they do this and they have to do this and no, because they never continue nothing, follow up on what the other government start. No, they don't do it. They don't do it. I don't know for reason why. Because they always want a name is they do this and they start this project. But it's wrong. You're for the people. Is the people have you there? I told them there at the meeting. There were 6 men at the head of the table and I addressed them properly. I said, taxpayers' money paying y'all. And look what y'all doing to us here. I said, it's unfair. We need a sleep night or day. We don't have no proper walkaway. You see, when the rain fall or they soak in the place now because we complain about the dust. You can't walk there. The skating down is poor mud. Mud, mud, mud. And the big vehicles. Look, one day a truck was coming in there with some big logs on iron slates on them to put some. If anybody was there, they would have get crushed. All slide off. We living in a dangerous zone here, man. Dangerous. I never thought the day would have come that we, this government, they're treating us worse than dogs. Because people got fancy kennel for their dogs, and they treat them nice, get them to vet, got nice kennel, buy fancy food. So we are not humans. They are humans. Them were in the ministry, them is humans. We are not humans, how they're treating us here. We're not humans. Because look how people looking after the pet. They got to go to the pet, they got to go to the vet, get their teeth brushed, and all kind of things. And look how they're treating us here. Nobody come around to find out how you're suffering and all these kind of things. No. Nobody. That is what we are living in all the time. Torture and torment. Torture and torment, Mr. Duncan. I could tell it and tell the word, and I always tell people, this government is a callous government. They're not caring. And especially when you're black. Because I'm a black woman. They suffer. And then the black people that they have there with them, they're house slaves. Or like Mr. Edgel, to me like they hand their foot, and he's a man of God. He should have been different. He should walk away when they're calling him to do certain things. Walk away. Walk away. The Bible says plenty times, you've got to give up your right for peace. But not he. He indulging in it and he's doing it. And all of them, Mr. Aaron, all of them going about the place, breaking down people's house and nothing at all, man. Them got how they sleeping when the night come. This is why I want to know. How they sleeping when the night come? Where's your mind? I talked my mind this morning here. I have a terminally ill brother in hospital, let me tell you. I have a terminally ill brother in hospital because they give him up. And you going through all this nonsense, I tell you. They're not caring. They don't business. They doesn't concern. They're having it all. They're having the hug of everything. An oil-rich company country like this.
And that's all we have for you on Credible Sources. Until our next broadcast.